Hello, friends. Welcome to Changing Lanes with Coach Williams, where we have real conversations about life after trauma, after experiences, encounters, or even miracles with God. Because I believe that true and lasting change requires change. Welcome to Changing Lanes with Coach Williams. I am Cassandra Williams of Cassandra Williams Enterprise, and I am your victory coach and the founder of Wise Wives Build. And we are going to be talking about changing lanes. What are changing lanes? That is when you have to make adjustments, changes, transitions in your life. And then you have to go forward into something new. Have you ever been riding down the road, an interstate, and you got behind someone that was really slow, or there was some kind of obstruction in the road and you had to go around it? You had to change lanes. And so often in life, we're not talking about changing lanes. We talk about the experience, the encounters we have, but we don't talk about after. This past March, I had an experience that changed my life forever. This encounter with God changed everything. I had to change my shoes, I had to change my clothes. Even the way I talked and the way I began to move and live changed. And so it made me really think about John 4 with the woman at the well, where she encountered Jesus. He said, I have need to go through Samaria. And he met this woman at the well that she was there getting water, and she had this encounter. And after her encounter with him, she ran into the city and she told everybody, come see a man. She turned her city upside down. But that's mostly where her story ends. We don't talk about that she had to go home. What happened after that encounter? And so that's what we're going to dive into today, okay? Because when we have to change lanes, that means when we go back after this amazing encounter with the Father, this amazing thing that happens, good or bad, your life changes forever. And so this woman had to go home, and there was a whole man that was there waiting for her to come back. She left to go wash. It was wash day. And she comes back home with a new attitude, a new lease on life. And she has to make some decisions. Does she continue in the vein that she's been living in? Or did she follow this new path that God has placed her on? Does she has to be reacclimated back into society, if you will. Remember, she was there in the middle of the day. Most women went early in the morning. She didn't go at the same time that all the other women went because she was not living the standard that they thought she should live. So instead of having to deal with the people, she went at a time that she would not have to deal with anybody. So now she has to be reacclimated back into society. And then we have the time where we have these encounters and people remind us of who we once were. We had this great encounter at church. We go away, we have this mountaintop experience. But then when we come home, everybody and everything reminds us of who we once were. And those are the times where we have to change lanes. We have to do something different because change requires us to change. And so that's what we're going to do as we go through these different scenarios, if you will, these different changes that take place in our life that require us to change lanes. And I can't talk about changing lanes without saying this one thing to you that I will remind you of as we continue on our journey together. That if you have made a decision and that you're going in the wrong direction, I need you to understand U-turns are allowed in life. Why are we talking about that first? Because before you can change lanes, you may need to do a U-turn and go in the right direction. What does it mean to go in the right direction? I have abandoned my faith, right? That I know what to do, but I'm doing all the wrong things. I've gotten angry. I've experienced trauma, and I just threw my hands up and I said, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. But now you're feeling a pull that I need to do something different. U-turns are allowed. Maybe you found yourself, you followed someone, and you let's just talk about this. Can we talk about it? Maybe you got married, right? And your husband was not who you thought he was. And you were the church girl, he was the bad boy. And in this scenario, you began to follow him instead of you leading him. You followed him down the wrong path. U-turns are allowed. You may feel like I'm the prodigal son, I'm the prodigal daughter. U-turns are allowed on this journey of changing lanes. The first step we need you to do is to get back in line with your purpose and your destiny that was ordained for you. And then I need you to follow the directions, the leading that God has placed before you. So, changing lanes is about real conversations about what happens after the experience, what happens after the encounter, what happens after the wedding, what happens after the funeral, what happens after the trauma. Because healing really can be your portion. Changing lanes is all about you coming from the place from where you are and getting to the place that you desire to be. And it's going to be a safe space for you to have real conversations. So I'm going to have people that will come on that will talk with me. I want you to send in questions. We'll give you that information as well. I'll be answering questions, but it's going to just be you and I having this conversation as we journey along to changing lanes.